What is up with Ark 2? What the heck is Ark Survival Ascended? What is going to happen to Ark Survival Evolved? And what does it have to do with 7 Days to Die? All of that and more, guys. Stay tuned. If you don't know who I am, I'm Spartan85. I make 7 Days to Die and Ark Survival Evolved content on Xbox and PC, and I drop some other survival games in there sometimes too. And when I get a chance, I drop bits of news to you guys, just like today. So let's jump into it. Kind of some interesting news. So on the 31st, so just a few days ago, March 31st, Studio Wildcard kind of dropped a bomb on a lot of people that I think some people maybe were expecting, but I don't think a lot of people were expecting this. So we've all been waiting for Ark 2, and Ark 2 is supposed to come out, well, kind of now. So where is Ark 2 anyway? The first question. So they announced that after careful consideration, we've decided to delay the sequel's launch to the end of 2024. It will still launch exclusively on Xbox, Game Pass, and Windows distribution platforms like Steam and PC. Basically, what they go into with the delay is, using Unreal Engine 5 is incredible technology, and they want to use every bit of the cutting-edge tech to its fullest potential. And so maybe they're just delaying it a little bit more to get the best out of Unreal. Maybe it doesn't look as good as they want on Unreal Engine 5 right now. So yeah, it's delayed until the end of 2024. I mean, I put out a top 10 survival videos not too long ago, basically saying it was going to be released by now. So Ark 2 is delayed. Where does that leave Ark? I mean, what does that mean? So they went ahead and announced Ark Survival Ascended. Basically, what that's doing is taking Ark Survival Evolved, which is on Unreal Engine 4, and upgrading it to Unreal Engine 5. It's the next generation remaster of our beloved Ark Survival Evolved, harnessing the power of Unreal Engine 5. It will be released on Xbox Series S and X, PC, Windows, Steam, and PlayStation 5 by the end of August 2023. The base game will include the Island, SOTF, which is strong Survival of the Fittest. I always forget what it's called. Survival of the Fittest, and the non-canon DLCs. It will launch for, here's kind of the kicker, in my opinion. Xbox players will have to pay $49.99 for Ark Survival Ascended, and you will pre-order Ark 2 at the same time. And then it'll be available for, looks like, up to a year. PlayStation 5 users will be able to buy it for $39.99. It'll be standalone. It will not include Ark 2 because Ark 2 is not releasing on PlayStation. So if nothing else changed at this moment, if this was just left alone, I don't think it'd be such a big deal. But if you scroll down a little bit further, and I'll go into some of the details of, what they're offering at Ark Survival Ascended. I mean, they're offering dynamic water, interactive foliage, Unreal Engine 5, cross-platform multiplayer, which I thought we already had that. They're also really working hard on more cross-platform modding. So if you make a mod on PC, you should be able to play it on Xbox. That's what we're working on. So, of course, Survival of the Fittest will be on there too. So now, like I said, you scroll down a little bit further, and this is where it gets really, I don't know, muddy and kind of sad in my opinion. But like I said, they're making the business decisions, not me. So the final content update for Ark, the last update for Ark Survival Evolved, will drop on the 8th anniversary in June, and that'll be the very last update. They also want to announce that cross-platform is not allowed on Ark Survival Evolved and Ark Survival Ascended. So you cannot play, if you have Ark Survival Evolved, I can't play with my buddy that has Ascended. The official servers for Ark Survival Evolved on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC will all close. So if you have an official server like I do on the public, it'll be gone. You'll still be able to play single-player, non-dedicated, and player-dedicated and unofficial servers of Ark Survival Evolved. So I started a community server on Ark, one of the official servers, and that's going to be gone. That whole thing's going to be gone. So you have to run a dedicated server or just play single player basically, or non-dedicated if you want to play with your friends. But The Ark Survival Evolved update will just be limited to crashes and bug fixes. The Ark Survival Ascended updates will basically offer the entire remaster and also resolve bugs, introduce new content, balance changes, and quality of life improvements for years to come, is what they say. So basically, if you want to keep playing the game on official servers, you're gonna have to upgrade to Ark Survival Ascended. If you own Ark Survival Evolved right now, you're still gonna have to pay full price to get Ascended. There is no discount for being an Ark player for the last 8 years, which I think that's throwing a lot of people kind of off. Like, hey, we've been a supporter of you for this long, and you're gonna make us buy the game again? The only caveat, possibly, if you do own Game Pass, the game will be in Game Pass. Ark Survival Ascended will be in Game Pass. I guess what kind of threw a lot of people off is back in January, Studio Wildcard tweeted a tweet with no details on it, just like a picture, just kind of showcasing, or I guess announcing that what Ark looks like in Unreal Engine 4 versus Unreal Engine 5. It was just a meme. I'll show it real quick, but I think it got a lot of people. They didn't say anything about you having to pay for it. They just kind of announced it. So I think a lot of people were just kind of like, hey, cool. We're going to get to play in Unreal Engine 5. Awesome. You know, and there's people that spent a lot of money on this game, on the season passes, on the downloaded content. So I think a lot of people just kind of like, okay, this is kind of like maybe a reward for being loyal to the game. But no, that did not happen. So if you go to the Twitter page, this is kind of where you see the reaction to everybody. And this was, like I said, this was announced on Friday. So if you kind of scroll down, so one of them is asking, I'm a bit confused and was hoping to get some clarification. I thought we were getting a free upgrade to UE5 for Ark SE, but from the roadmap, it looks like it's all new paid for the ASA, Ark Survival Ascended. He goes on, one of the developers gets on there and says, the UE5 tease a couple weeks back is referring to in the works complete free upgrade remaster of Ark Survival Evolved in Unreal Engine 5, not a cinematic. We haven't officially announced the UE5 upgrade yet because there's other things we want to show then as well. So right then, that was back in January 22nd. So then they hinted that there was going to be a completely free remaster of Ark Survival Evolved in UE5. They just said it right there. Ark Survival Evolved is not going to Unreal Engine 5. It is getting shut down. If you want to play Ark and Unreal Engine 5, you have to go to Ascended. So what they said on January 22nd is kind of contradicting what they announced now. Another take on it. So do I have this right? You're turning off the game I paid Euro 60 for and worked hard at for 3 years for me to pay another $60 for the privilege of starting again with better graphics? This has generally broken my heart. So that's one take on it. Another take on it, and this is one interesting one. I don't see what all the whining is about. We are essentially going to be pre-ordering Ark 2 and getting Ark 1 in UE5. I guess the only issue is that the DLC maps for Ark Ascended would have to be rebought at a later date, which is probably true. And he has a good point, but that's for Xbox players. PlayStation people are done. If they want to play in Unreal Engine 5, they just have to buy the game. They're not getting to pre-order Ark 2. Xbox players are getting to pre-order Ark 2 and get Ark Survival Ascended or Evolved in Unreal Engine 5. So, very interesting. Just to kind of sum this all back up, in August, Ark Survival Evolved servers are shut down. If you want to play on official servers still, you have to buy Ark Survival Ascended for, was it $50, $60, whatever, and you get a copy of Ark 2, which will hopefully release in late 2024. They keep pushing this thing back. You can still play Ark Survival Evolved. You just can't play on official servers. You're going to have to play by yourself or just over like non-dedicated servers. So what does this mean for 7 Days to Die? I've rambled on long enough. And the reason I bring up 7 Days to Die is I've made several console update 7 Days to Die videos. And the developers have always kind of stated they would love to give a discounted version of the console update to legacy players. But all that is up to Xbox and PlayStation. And so a lot of this stuff with Ark makes you wonder how much of this is Microsoft or Sony pulling some strings. Because the game was promised on current gen, so Xbox Series X, PS5, kind of in this time frame, and now it can't be delivered. So it makes you almost wonder if Microsoft was saying, hey, We want Ark exclusive on the current gens. Like, we want it in Unreal Engine 5, and we want it now. So I wonder if this was kind of like, hey, we'll let you delay this, but we need something to play now that we can get people to want to buy our consoles. Because why do you need an Xbox Series X right now? You can play it on a regular Xbox One. There is some lag on it, but now you're going to have to buy a current gen console to play the updated Ark. You're going to have to. You have no choice. So I bring that back to 7 Days to Die because they leave a lot of it up to Microsoft and Sony about what they can do with the updates. Are they going to be able to update the console 7 Days to Die version and just give a clean update? Or are they going to have to do something like Studio Wildcard did and basically close it completely down, which they kind of already have. It's closed down, and issue a new game, kind of like Studio Wildcard did. Is it going to be 7 Days to Die Ascended, basically? Like, you have to buy this, here it is, you get everything, and we're going to start updating this version. Is it going to be something like that? It makes you wonder if they're going to follow in the same steps of Studio Wildcard, and, you know, if there's going to be a separate game, or if it's all going to be one game. So that's why I tied it into 7 Days to Die, because this is, I would keep an eye on this whole, how this thing unravels. If there's enough pressure in August, there may be a chance they push back these servers closing a little bit longer. There's enough pressure. So it's interesting to watch. Keep an eye on this whole development. I will do my best to give you guys updates on this whole thing. And maybe it correlates to 7 Days to Die, because both those games are on Game Pass. So they are both tied to Microsoft somehow. It's disheartening because, like I said, my community server is on an official Xbox server. So maybe this is time for me to convert it to a dedicated server so we don't have to worry about it. And we can just keep playing Ark Survival Evolved in our old school Unreal Engine 4. So, alright guys, thanks for letting me ramble. I hope this helped you guys out. I'll catch you guys in the server, and I'll catch you guys in the other videos. See you later. Bye.